From the Bob Mills Weather Center, Oklahoma weather expert, Lacey Swope.
Excellent job, Storm, hitting all these accidents. There are so many. Lacey and Robin just telling me three semi-trucks have either jackknifed or wrecked in some way, form, or fashion on I-35 alone. That's one interstate, and all of that is right here in the heart of Oklahoma City. We've heard that I-240, slick and hazardous, any elevated spot on I-40, slick and hazardous as well. You get into northern Oklahoma, the snow blanketed the ground, the blizzard ongoing. We've had close to blizzard conditions in the Oklahoma City metro off and on since about 2:30 this morning with very limited visibility at times. The snow's been light. We haven't even had an inch of snow in the metro, but that moisture is ice and slick spots and slick and hazardous on the bridges in the metro. That's why our team of trackers are out, and we've had numerous accidents. I know we've had over a dozen accidents on interstates alone this morning. Do want to start off with Hank and Patty Brown this morning. Tom Pastrano's also out. Hank, yet another accident. Tell us exactly where you are now.
So, Lacey, this is I-44 about Airport Road where it curves north, and you can see here the light. Look in that lane to my right. That is a solid sheet of ice. It's just a light dusting of snow. It is so slick here, it's too dangerous for me to stop. So there's 6 cars involved with that, and it was people doing, 50, 60 miles an hour, come around the corner, and all of a sudden that it's so cold out here, that little light dusting of snow, when it gets packed down, it like flash freezes, and it makes the highway very, very slick, Lacey. Back to you.
Okay, great update. And just to be clear, Hank, that was not a bridge, right? Was that elevated?
No, that was not a bridge. That was a little bit of an elevation, but it was not a bridge. That was north of the Airport Road Bridge.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so it's not just the bridges, and that's what we've been saying. There are spots where you're traveling along on the interstate, and the interstate itself has ice on it. It was very light snow. Folks drove across it, melted those snowflakes, and the water froze on contact. Roads, a lot of them have been treated, but with the wind the way it is, the temps the way they are in the mid-20s, it's not helping a whole lot, at least not in these areas where our trackers are. Now, it's a completely different story. That's the metro. Be very careful. The north and northwest, it's obvious the roads are a mess. That's where we've had the blowing snow. Do you want to go out to Val and Amy Castor? Val, the snow has blanketed the roadway. Some areas 1.5 inches, maybe even 4.5 inches. How's it shaping up where you are?
Yeah, looking at the grassy surfaces, maybe 2 inches on the ground over here. The roads, however, are just basically a solid sheet of ice. Extremely slick on the roads. Now, we're about halfway between Woodward and Enid, and it's been this way ever since we left Woodward. Now, also, a problem is the blowing snow. Even though the snow is not falling, that has stopped. You come across the right terrain, and the wind is still ripping pretty hard out here. We've had a couple of instances of near whiteout conditions, so you got to watch out for that. Back to you, Lacey.
Okay, great update. So even though the precip is done, Val and Marty both seeing stars looking back to their west a little bit. And yes, the snow's still blowing because the winds are strong on the ground. So let me tell you what's going on. So that's northern Oklahoma, slick and hazardous. For the metro, here's the deal. It's blowing snow. Winds are gusting close to 50 miles per hour. Dangerous wind chills. Slick spots right now, and at times the bridge is completely ice covered. Between now and really 6 a.m., coming up 7 a.m., the snow starts to wind down, but the roads will still be slick until sunrise. At sunrise, we will start to see some improvement, so if you can delay getting out for even just a couple of hours, it's going to help you tremendously. This afternoon, sunshine across the state and the winds start to back off. Here's the condition across the state. If you're traveling, it's snowing all the way up to the far northeast, very light, and then the snow-covered roadways in the purple with some shutdown conditions with roads closed in the northwest. And this is the advisory. It's a travel advisory, including the metro, back up towards Tulsa. Anywhere from 1/10 of an inch to just under an inch of snow in Oklahoma City. That's all we've seen. In the north and northwest, anywhere from 1 inch to 4 to almost 5 inches. Now it looks like from the village to Choctaw, just over 1/2 of an inch of snow there. There goes the storm system pushing off to the northeast. Still so much wind with it. As it gets farther away from us, our winds will start to back off. And this is the back edge of the snow from Kingfisher to El Reno. Reno to Chickasha, and again, it loops back up towards Miami. It's light, it's flurries from Kearney to Stroud, but that heavier band we've been tracking from Kingfisher is now into Piedmont, into Yukon, into Mustang, into Tuttle, coming in over Tom and Hank. And with the winds the way they are, that once again is going to start to limit visibility back down close to a mile at times, maybe even a little less. Heavier snow from Mustang to Tuttle down to Amber. That's going to come across Moore and Norman. And when you start to add that moisture with road temps in the 20s, it's going to freeze on contact. Still light snow from Hennessy to Kingfisher and far northern Oklahoma. You're pretty much dry with a few flurries. Still a little light snow from Ringwood to Hennessy to Ames right now. So the snow ending through the next couple of hours, pushing to the northeast, but the damage will have been done due to the roadways being so very cold and the wind helping to just drop that pavement temp so quickly. Temperatures being driven by the winds 40 to 50 miles per hour feel like this. Single digits and low teens. Bundle up if you have to head out. Single digits all across the Northwest. Last thing you want is to be in a fender bender and have to get out and switch insurance and do that sort of thing in these kind of conditions. Wind chills will be in the 20s and low 30s all day, but the winds do back off into the evening hours. We'll try to warm into the 30s and the low 40s. So this is the first storm system moving through, and man, what a storm it's been. That makes its way out. There's a couple more coming. The next one is just off the screen there. That impacts us on Friday, and that will bring more wind, Arctic air, and another chance for snow. 20s tonight, and then tomorrow, 40s and 50s. And then as we get into your Thursday, still mid-upper 50s. It's Thursday night into Friday that our next system arrives. The totals don't look all that impressive for the snow with that one. But man, it turns colder. In fact, we're below freezing. Saturday, Sunday, the next winter storm, Sunday into Monday, could be a doozy with several inches of snow before the Polar Express moves in. That's your 9-day forecast.